Hi Scorpio, welcome to your love reading for the month of September. This is going to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. Keep in mind these are general messages, so they may or may not resonate. If it doesn't resonate with you, you can always check your other placements to see what else comes up for you. What's going on with Scorpio in love? What's in store for Scorpio in love for the month of September? Okay, we have the Tower in reverse. September seems to be a month where you will be rebuilding yourself. Okay, I see that with the moon especially. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer. But I do see for you personally, it's like you'll be rebuilding and there'll be things coming out that you like, things that you're realizing about yourself, things that were hidden, like kind of self-realization, finding things out about yourself. I feel like it has to do with the things that hurt you in the past. So in September, you're going to be really like, those things are going to be brought to your attention, where you're going to be seeing exactly how something in the past hurt you and how you can rebuild from that, how you can, you know, move on from it, heal it and rebuild yourself. I see this month for you being this whole reconstruction of yourself. It's like a renewal. It's not like one of those rough Scorpio lessons where it's like rough. It's more like wisdom. Like you're coming into this wisdom, these realizations of what's happened, how it's affected you and how to fix it and how to step up and move on to the next level. Okay, I feel like a lot of you are learning self-love. See, I was gonna say the Four of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. I just shuffled the deck and it's at the bottom again. So I was gonna say, yes, you are learning to say no to people. So maybe in the past you may have just, you know, given a lot of yourself away, always helping people, always giving. Now it's like you're learning how that's affected you and how to say no to people, as a way of loving yourself and being and saying yes to yourself. Not that you're not helping anyone anymore, it's just that you're learning how much of yourself to give and how much to give to yourself. So what's the challenge here for Scorpio for September? There's the Four of Cups again. The challenge for Scorpio for September. Why is this happening? Okay. Ace of Cups. You're facing a lot of moments in the past where you felt rejected. Coming to terms with those things. There were relationships in the past where you didn't get closure, and you're starting to learn how to give yourself the closure, not to need it from anyone else, how to work through things on your own. Freeing yourself from the Eight of Swords energy. So this month is really about you getting out of feeling stuck because of past issues, because of past pain. You're really freeing yourself from all of that. Any pain or rejection you felt in the past, you're learning how to get rid of it. Why is this all happening for Scorpio? Why is this all happening with Scorpio? The Empress, you see? I know we're going to get into your love life, but it seems to be talking about you right now. So I'm just going with it because this is your message. This is all happening because you're learning how to love yourself. You're learning to remember who you are. You are the Empress, even though this is a Libra card. The Empress is about beauty, self-love, growth, abundance. Everything that every human being can have if they were to just, you know, work on themselves daily. Practice healthy habits. You know, every human being can get to this level. It's just that not everyone is trying. And I feel like this month is where you realize that you can be here. You know, you can feel fully abundant, fully worthy and loved. If you just give that to yourself first, then others will give it to you. Okay. So the Hierophant as well, you're learning a lot It's almost like your angels are stepping in and saying, look, this month is dedicated to you, okay? So we have, even though it's not your month is coming up, you know, November and October. But the devil here, and some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn. We've got Libra here and Pisces, Cancer. This is the thing. Everyone has this devil, and this devil represents the things that keep us stuck in the past. Obviously, it's about addiction and all of that stuff, but because of the subject here, where it's talking about you rebuilding yourself and releasing the past, this is just representing all the things that are holding you back. So your September is about working through and getting rid of this guy here. All of your fears, because fears hold you back. You may have talent and you're afraid to show everybody your talent. Fear of judgment. You may want to make a business, step out and do something, but it's too risky. You're too afraid of failing. You know, this is representing all of those things. The pain that holds you back, that makes you kind of think about the past instead of thinking about the present and the future. That is the devil. So you're getting rid of this with these two people here. Beauty and wisdom, realizing who you are and really using, because Scorpio, you guys are smart, you know. Scorpio is the detective of astrology. You guys study things when something interests you. You study it to the core. That's why you know so much about so much. So you're using that same wisdom to really dive in and figure out what is causing, what is holding you back. And you will find it this month. You will find it. What happened in the recent past with Scorpio? What happened in the recent past? Okay. Knight of Swords. You see, I'm sorry, too many cards came out at once. But this one. King of Swords. This may have been you for a long time. Presenting yourself as, you know, unbothered. Trying to think logic and trying to stay on board, trying to win in life, just keeping it moving, thinking logic. But then there's this King of Cups, your emotional side. So some of you may have put this guy in front of this guy, your logic in front of your emotions. You probably got hurt and thought, let me just be tough and just forget about it and move on, instead of working through it. So your way of dealing with things is going to change. Your way of dealing with life and the pain it can bring is going to change. Because you're going to see that the old way wasn't working. It seemed like it was working, and then all of a sudden you had all these, it caught up with you. As in, some of you may be dealing with depression. You may find yourselves in moments where you're just crying, and when you cry, you think about the past. You know, you're realizing that just because you got over it doesn't mean it didn't leave. So you're learning to work through those things. What's happening in the near future for Scorpio? What's coming up in the near future for Scorpio? Three of Wands. Death in reverse. This is you, Scorpio. Scorpio energy. Could be dealing with a Scorpio, but this is just speaking of you and this whole transformation. For a lot of you, this is what you've been waiting for. Intuitively, you knew that this moment would come where you would figure it out, where you'd figure out how to love yourself, you'd figure out how to win, because you know that you are not. I don't want to say stupid. Yeah, you're not stupid. Okay, you know that you're not stupid. So you knew that eventually you would figure this out. Now is the time. All right. You knew eventually you'll find the love that you want. You know it's coming. You're realizing the things that you need to work through before that love can get here. Some of you may have met that person already, and maybe that might be on hold. But I feel like this month is really about you. Okay. It's about taking back your power. It's about all those times when people actually hurt you in the past and you feel like they took something from you, and that they have to apologize for you to get that thing back. You're learning that you don't need those apologies to get it back. You can just take it back. And you've learned how to, or you're going to learn how to do that if you haven't already. So let's get into love. Whoever Scorpio has in mind, what is that person up to? Whoever Scorpio has in mind. So whoever you are dealing with or are dealing with, they are kind of, there's two things. They're either not making a move in this relationship because they are dealing with their own issues at the moment as well. I hate when two things come up and I forget the other thing. Always happens. Oh yeah. Or this person, they may have issues that you didn't know about. So it may have seemed like they had it all figured out and blah, blah, blah. Everyone always comes off as if they have everything figured out. This person, they did not know how to move forward. And they are working to get out of the anxiety of failing to move forward with you, or it could be in their life in general. They are dealing with their fears and their failures. This person is. They could be a Cancer for some of you, or a Aquarius. But they are not perfect. They are not... we can always think that other people are perfect and have it all together, and that you can feel like you're the only one who doesn't, but everybody has these issues. Everyone has fears. Everyone has failed at some point. So this person is working through their issues. What's going on with Scorpio in love? Very soon, clearly decide what you want. So it comes to you now. Engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So I'm seeing that whether you're with someone or not, you need to decide what you want for sure. Do you want that person? If you have nobody yet, you need to decide exactly who you want to come into your life. Because with the healing and the new level that you're going to be on for this September, your love life will ascend to a higher level of commitment. Like if in the past you only ended up talking to people, not being official, or being official but not being engaged to be married, you're going to the next level because you're healing yourself and you are programming yourself to believe and know that you are worthy of the relationship that you want. So you have to, on top of that, decide what it is that you want in the relationship. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life and release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. This is all speaking about the past. Taking back control of your life by no longer letting the past control you. I know people are going to say, oh, I'm over the past, blah, blah, blah. But you know, water signs have the bigger issue with the past because water signs are more subconscious, and in the subconscious there's no such thing as time. So all the water signs tend to feel things that happened in the past. It feels like they're still happening now. So water signs struggle with that the most because you're more connected to the subconscious. So it's not that you are just weak and can't let go of the past. It's just kind of in your nature because you are so connected to the subconscious world, the other world. So it's a bit harder for you because it feels like it's still happening. You feel like you're still being betrayed by that person from the past. You know, especially if you didn't get an apology and everything. That's why your challenge, and the challenge for any water sign, is to work through that. Is to really, really learn and try to focus in on the present. Okay? That's how you take back control of your life. Why? Because you can only control what happens now and what's going to happen in the future. You can control what happens in the future by controlling your thoughts today. You know, you may not be able to control every single thing down to the T unless you're like advanced in manifestation, like way advanced, like a monk. But the past is the only thing that you can't control, and you can't go back and change that. So why even care? Why not focus on the excitement of being able to create your future? You know, it's just way more exciting and less painful than to think about the past. Okay, so keep that in mind for the month while you're going through this and learning. Let's look at your main spread for September. I actually feel, why do I feel emotional? Who's crying? All right, let's see. Scorpio, what can Scorpio expect in love for the month of September? What is going on with Scorpio? September 2021. What is going on with Scorpio? Oh Lord. Okay. Wow. All right. So right now, some of you just feel, let me start with this, because keep in mind everything I just said a minute ago. Because I see that now currently, or for a little while, some of you are going to be feeling like you've experienced misfortune. Like you feel like unlucky. Why does this always have to happen to me? And this and that. So keep in mind what I said a minute ago about all of that stuff. Because at this point, you should realize that there's no reason to feel this way, to feel unlucky when you have the power to change your luck, to change your future. I see that a lot of you are releasing a lot of emotions. This could be to do with the current person, current ex, or the past. But you are no longer carrying an emotional burden in September. September is the month where you decide, I'm leaving this behind. It's too heavy. It's not serving you. You're not going to unpack and wear these things ever. You are releasing a lot of negative, unnecessary emotions. All right. You have over here, if you're dealing with someone, this person, some of you may be dealing with someone who kind of triggers, or you were recently dealing with an ex who triggers your fears, your pains, your traumas from the past. So that could be a person that you're releasing. There is someone who is hanging around here. There is someone whose feelings for you are still there. Doesn't mean you have to or want to be with this person, but there's someone who's still kind of hanging around. They themselves have their own issues. They themselves have this devil. You have the devil to work through. They have the devil. Most people have the devil to work through. We are all like held back by some kind of fear at some point. Nobody is 100% fearless and just going for everything. So this person, they have their issues. And the problem with this is that sometimes they can trigger your issues. They can trigger your fears. And that can you can look at that as negative and painful, because it is. But you can also look at it as what triggers you to realize, okay, I do have these fears. So how do I get rid of them, you know? Because if they're never triggered, you'll never really know that they're hiding within you and preventing you from moving forward in life. So maybe you won't end up with this person. Maybe this is the ex you need to release. Maybe you haven't gotten over that person. You still need to get over them and release and forget about getting an apology from them. But I do see that they are still lingering around, whoever this is. And they're seeing you as rejecting their offer. So a lot of you are not really giving this person your love anymore. You're fed up. and you're right to be, because I feel like this is what's leading you to this new journey that you're going to be on. There is someone, either you're seeing someone in real life as your soulmate, or you are feeling that there's a soulmate out there. Some of you may be convinced that this person is your soulmate because of the feelings you may still have for them. I don't know, and you won't even know until you clear your energy and you take that time to work on yourself. Then you'll know who your soulmate is, whether it's someone you know or someone who's coming in. But right now, you can be blinded by the devil to think that someone is your soulmate because of feelings, because of the attachment. Not saying that this person isn't, just saying it's easy to be blinded by it. You know, we have the 8 of Wands. So there may be like a lack of movement, and some of you are giving too much. You've been given too much. And you know what? Some of you are dating people who are not even worth your time. Like, they may appear to be, because people can usually appear to be more than what they are, you know, make themselves look great on social media, and you kind of become convinced that this person is great and they have it all together, but deep down they don't. And so there's that illusion where you feel like you're with someone who is a soulmate, but is really just feeding off of you. All right. Your outcome here, Knight of Wands. Regardless of who you're with right now, or if you're with no one, doesn't matter. This is the energy that you're going into September with. Like, you are going in with a lot of fiery energy, whether you have fire in your chart or not. But this is like passion. You are passionate because you're a Scorpio. This is you moving into this thing. Like, I feel like when you, I don't know if you're going to watch a video on the issues that you have, or something, some type of motivational speech or something that kind of kickstarts you to go on this whole fixing myself type of journey. And you're going to be really passionate about it. Some of you already are. And when you come out of this, when you've learned what you need to learn, you've studied it all the way to the core like a true Scorpio, that's when you'll realize who your soulmate is. That's why you have this card. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so it comes to you now. You can't decide that when you're not even sure if this person's your soulmate, because if someone has caused you pain, obviously you're going to question whether they're your real soulmate or not. Yeah, you might have feelings for them, but then, you know, you're smart enough to know, okay, if this was my soulmate, then why does it hurt? You know, why do they trigger me? So it's about fixing first, and then having a clearer mind to be able to realize who is your soulmate and who is not. Okay, let me see. Let me clarify. Why is the devil showing up with this person here? Oh my goodness. So this person, yeah, they can be the trickster. Some of you may be dealing with the person who knows how to portray themselves as something more than what they are, to convince you that they are worth working for. You know, but this person may be working hard to keep up with you, low-key. It can be very, like, disguised what people do these days. They can really convince you that you are having to work to be with them than them having to work to be with you. They can really convince you that that's the case, you know, so you have to be careful. Why the Hanged Man? Why is this person feeling the Hanged Man towards Scorpio? There's feelings there. There's feelings there, but there's also intimidation with this person. I feel like some of you are dealing with someone who is they may have feelings for you genuinely, but they're also somewhat intimidated, maybe a little bit jealous of you. But the thing is, you're not seeing what you have. Other people can see what you have. You are not seeing what you have. You're not seeing who you are. That's why the Empress came out earlier. You're not seeing who you are, but they are. And sometimes when a person knows that you're not seeing who you are, they can say, okay, I can convince Scorpio to think that I am what they need. Okay, this person, there's some genuine feelings there, but there's also an intimidation, like they feel a little bit inferior to you. Okay, some of you may need to read the description of Scorpio again. You need to remember who you are. Okay, you need to remember who you are. Why the Two of Cups? Why the Two of Cups? Okay, this is not for all of you, but some of you are in the typical, because I know that there's some people who are like kind of new to this whole healing journey and realizing realizing how this all works. I know some of you are advanced and know what I'm talking about, but there's some people who may still be easily tricked into thinking that someone is good for them, because I'm seeing that some of you are viewing this person as your soulmate, and it's because of, you know, the on and off. Yeah, some of you are believing in the twin flame thing. Not all of you, I hope not all of you, but the whole twin flame thing where it's like there's a chaser and there's a runner or whatever, and that person's just running from you because they're I hate that silly twin flame thing, because it does more damage than good. To believe that someone's just running from you because of this and that is doing more damage than good. Your soulmate will not run from you. The person you're supposed to be with will not run from you. If you look at healthy marriages and relationships, you don't see, you know, the other person running out the house all the time and the husband or wife chasing after them. That's not, if you saw your neighbor's spouse running out the house and then your neighbor running behind them, would you think that that's a good marriage? No, that's not. Okay, so this person, and this is why the devil shows up, because they can make you think that that's love when it's not. And if you don't have the self-love, if you don't understand what real love is, how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to feel, you can be tricked by this devil. This person who isn't what they seem, this person who appears to be strong and has it all together and makes you think that you are lucky to have them. You can easily be tricked by that if you don't, if you're falling for the twin flame thing, that's for one, and if you don't understand what real love is. And a lot of people don't. I didn't at one point. I probably still don't. I haven't really tried to love, to be in a relationship recently, but I have learned a lot from the past. I can tell you that the twin flame connection, usually it's not meant to be, like, you're not meant to be with that person. Usually that person is meant to come into your life to trigger you, to make you see what your fears are, where you've been hurt, what your childhood issues are, so that you can heal those things. Like twin flame, you're supposed to bring out the worst in each other. So you may bring out feelings of rejection for this person when you don't praise them or anything like that. And they may bring out feelings of abandonment, the fear of abandonment with you when they run away from you because they feel rejected, that you didn't praise them, you didn't do this and that. So now they feel rejected, you feel abandoned. Now you're both realizing, I have rejection issues, I have abandonment issues. That's what the twin flame does. It's not this horrible, this toxic, romantic thing where one person's running and you have to chase them. No. It's to show you where your damage is so that you can heal. That is when you're led to the soulmate. There's a difference between twin flame and soulmate. And I remember someone in the comments telling me, oh, you need to go and read more about twin flames. No, because I've lived it. I don't need to. I used to read that silly stuff about running and chasing. I'm telling you, it does not end well. It does more damage than good, and you're going to have to heal even longer. Okay? So, the thing is, there's a difference between twin flame and soulmate. Once you've gone through the twin flame situation and you realize the issues that you have to work on, then you work on them. That's when you start to see soulmates and not people who can trigger you, because life is all about learning, and as long as you still have more to learn, as long as you haven't worked through those things, you're going to keep attracting people who are going to keep bringing up those things, and it's going to be annoying as hell. So I've had to learn this in the past, worked through it, seen success. Not looking for marriage, so I'm not married, but definitely seen the difference between people who will bring out triggers in you and people who are actually there to love you. And while you're in this energy, you won't really be able to see the people who are wanting to love you, because the ones who are going to trigger you are just more attractive to you. It's like if you have kids, if you've ever had a toddler before, you could put a fun, colorful toy in front of the toddler, and you can put a pair of scissors, and I guarantee you the child is going to go for the scissors. Human beings, we go for what's going to hurt us the most, because life is about learning lessons, and we're going to be drawn to that thing that's going to teach us a lesson. So it's best to just surrender, say, okay, I'm going to learn the lesson, I'm going to heal, so that you can be more attracted to the soulmate, the good one, because you've worked through and you've learned your lessons. Okay? Okay, that was long. Why the 10 of Wands? Yeah, the Hermit. Could be dealing with a Virgo, some of you, but the Hermit, you are realizing that you need to go within yourself to find this stability. You are realizing you're not going to find it outside of yourself, and that you need to release certain things and go within to get to this 4 of Wands. This happy, stable life, happy, stable relationship, marriage, family. You know, because you can feel it. You can feel it. This over here, even if you're not dealing with someone, this can represent the people who you've been attracting over throughout your life. People who just trigger you, even friends who trigger you. You know, and those people, they'll still hang around until you heal. When you heal, these horrible people won't be drawn to you anymore. There'll be nothing for them to gain from you. They'll have to find themselves another victim, because you'll no longer be a victim. You'll no longer be carrying victim energy. So, Knight of Wands. Why the Knight of Wands? I feel like this is going to be so exciting for you. You see, this is wow. This is where you come to that crossroad and you make that decision. The passion is behind it for you. The passion of this is fueling you to want to do it, because judgment is here. And the judgment card, as you see, is the angel with a calling. This is your angels, your higher self saying, look, September, it's time. It's time for you to realize why you're here on earth, your purpose. You know, it's time for you to realize why you had to go through the pain in order to get to the next level. And then this 3 of Swords in reverse, you know, this is all about healing. This is when the swords fall out and your heart can heal finally. It all comes together. And then the 7 of Cups, all the opportunities that are going to be waiting for you at the end of this journey. Everything you have to choose from. You're going to have to decide who you want to be with, because you may have a lot of options coming in. Better options than before. You might find that you meet people who are just more grounded and calm, especially if they have Taurus in their chart. You'll find Taurus people, you being a Scorpio, it's opposite to Scorpio. So you'll find Taurus people to be, or anyone with Taurus influence in their chart, to be more calm, down to earth, straightforward, you know, rather than attracting these characters who are just pretending to be something that they're not. So here is your calling, and you have the passion to back it, the drive, the determination to get it done. Now more than ever. I don't know what's happening with Scorpio astrologically, but it seems like you guys have the fire beneath your feet to get this going. I've never seen a reading like this, and look how long I've been here, 36 minutes already. Okay. Let me see, what do we have for Scorpio? What will be going on with Scorpio in love? Connection. Oh, goodness. All right. Connection and love. Imagine when you get to this point, some of you may already be halfway there. You may already know what I'm talking about, fully here. But this is what it leads to. Real connection, real love, not the fake illusion that the devil creates. Oh my God, soulmate recognition. This is what I've been saying from the beginning. It's hard to recognize your soulmate when you have your issues that you still need to work on. That's why the devil can disguise, these devil people can disguise themselves as your soulmate, and you can really believe it. Because here you're seeing someone as your soulmate, but they have this devil energy. So clearly you're not seeing what's really behind this person. You're kind of believing in the facade, or you were in the past, if this is a past situation. But when you move into the new version of yourself, then you'll be able to really recognize who is your soulmate. You know, there will be a difference. There will be a difference. Let me tell you how it works. Less people will be, you'll find that you're attracted to less people. I found this to be the case. Less people look attractive to you, and even, this is how I know it works. You'll see a person who you know most people would be attracted to, like the pretty boy or the pretty girl, and you would think to yourself, okay, I see how other people would be attracted to that person, but I'm not going to go for it. And that will be because you would have evolved, healed the issues from the past. Now what was once appealing, it still looks appealing, but you have it in you to make the decision not to go for it. Just like if you're trying to be a certain weight and you see a nice cake, yeah, the cake looks nice, but you know that if you go for it, you're going to pay the price. And that will be the difference. You'll stop going for these attractive people who are attractive on the outside, but the devil on the inside. And it's not that your soulmate won't be attractive. It's just that you'll recognize their soul. That's why it says soulmate recognition. So you won't be looking at this person's face, whether they're ugly or cute. That won't even matter. Because you'll feel something in your chest, literally. You'll look at this person's behavior and you'll say, wow, like this person is so calm. They're so, like my spirit just feels at peace when I look at this person, when I talk to this person, rather than it just being your eyes that are satisfied. and their fake persona that is like attractive to everyone, so you want to go for it. No, it will be different. And look at this, triggered. So just like what I've been talking about the whole time, situations that just trigger you, these types of people will bring that up just so that you can see it, so that you can be able to heal it. And that's all it is. When you see it that way and you realize that the universe, the angels and everyone kind of set this up for you to like set up this whole obstacle for you to go through and realize and learn things, then you can say, okay, I see what's going on. This needed to happen in order for me to get to the next level. If I didn't go through this pain, I would be still where I was 10 years ago. And if you look at yourself 10 years ago, who were you? Probably less than what you are now, like less wise. You know, you probably made worse decisions back then. Everything is a learning process. We have weight. No need to worry. Be assertive and you're ready, you see? That's why it's happening, because it's time for you. It's your time. There's no need to worry, and you're just needing to roll with it. Just roll with it, because the universe and your higher self, remember, it's your higher self, the version of you that knows more than this third dimensional version of you, will never steer you wrong. Okay? It's like the parent who comes in. You and your siblings are playing with dangerous stuff, and your parent comes in and says, you can't do this anymore. You think that your parent is ruining the fun. Parent is just trying to keep you safe and make sure you don't damage yourself, scar yourself. You know, it never has bad intentions for you, your higher self. What's the advice for Scorpio? Time for healing. You see what I mean? I know it's so annoying, like having to hear this over and over again, but if you don't do it, you're gonna be hearing it over and over again. And if you don't do it in this life, you'll be back for a next life to do it again. Okay? So we have you're good enough. We have confidence is your key to success. Do some confidence meditations, some self-love meditation, self-worth. You need to know, you need to program into your mind so you understand that you are good enough. That's going to be a part of your healing. Bring love into the situation. Aquarius energy. We have Leo energy and Virgo. Capricorn, Virgo again. But love. You need to fill yourself with love. One thing that I was doing is kind of weird, but recently I would imagine that, like, imagine an energy field around me and it's filled with love, right? And I pretend that that's the love that I've been given to everyone else. I start to like pull it in. Like, it can be whatever color you want it to be. But I just imagine that color just coming back into my body. And you can, when you do that, you might kind of feel a sensation in your chest and your body. And I don't know if it works. I haven't read it anywhere. It's just something that I thought about doing and it gave me a feeling. So, I don't know. It kind of worked for me. Gives you the... It's like when you kind of imagine a white light around you for protection. It's similar to that. It's like the imagination is everything. So, but yeah, you still have to really work through, really brainstorm, look at the past. Don't dwell on it or live in the past. Look at it, observe it from the outside. See how it's affecting you now. Work through it. Really watch videos on whatever issue you feel like you have. If you have abandonment issues, rejection issues, whatever your specific issue is, make sure you're really studying it to the fullest. Studying it to the fullest and making sure you know everything about it. Listen to the psychologist talk about it so you know everything about it. That way you'll be able to tackle it fully. Because it's like I'm hearing the more you know. The more you know. So really study what your issues are, what your fears are, work through them. You'll see a difference. You will definitely see a difference in how you look at other people, who you're attracted to, who you're not attracted to. And when you get to that point, that's when you really need to decide what you want in a person. There's always that list on, I think it was on Oprah, where you write a list of things you want your person to be. But I would definitely recommend doing at least like 1 to 3 months of focusing on the healing first before you try to attract, unless you've been doing this for a while already. So Scorpio, this is what I'm seeing. This was a long reading. But I feel like it was necessary. I hope this was helpful. You can check your other placements if you want to know what else is going on for you in September. Like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you know when the next Scorpio reading is coming. It should be in the next couple days. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.